Well, maybe by next Tuesday, we'll figure it out. It's going to be an interesting week next week because we have 19 different people who are going to have to turn them into the Fulton County Jail. We have a Republican debate that is either going to be boring or it's going to be one of the greatest shit shows in the history of debates.
Do you know how they're going to do it? Is it going to be a debate or is it going to be like a town hall and people ask?
No, it's a debate. It's where they're all lined up on stage and they each get questions asked and they're all going to be in line based on, I think it's where they stand in the poll or where they stand, in the polls or whatever. Obviously, Donald Trump would be in the middle and to the right and left of him would be DeSantis. And I think in Iowa, if I'm not mistaken, Vivek Ramaswamy. I don't know if that helped his case in Iowa, but I think he was in the third, or he might even went past DeSantis too at some point.
Oh my God, that's hilarious!
Could
that
you
guy.
imagine? I mean, we talked about this earlier, and again, I don't mind wrapping up the show before and talking about it still. This guy went into this thing thinking, I can beat Donald Trump. I'm the smarter Donald Trump. And you know why I think that? Because I've been told that. I've been told I'm the smart Donald Trump. And he's got so much problems. And make no mistake about it, and you brought up the point earlier, everybody on that stage wants Donald Trump to go to jail and not be able to get out. They want him out of this race because then they think they have a shot. And that's where it opens up a lane for Ron DeSantis. To answer your question earlier, I'm not really worried about Ron DeSantis as a presidential candidate because I think it's pretty clear. What's going to happen is there's going to be such a stink on him anyway. It's going to be like, dude, you were just always the second choice anyway. You're going to have Trump voters are going to be, fuck that guy. I'm not voting for him.
Exactly. Even if Trump tells them to, they're going to not vote because they're going to be so pissed off. They're not going to bother to, kind of like Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
He waited, and Trump will wait till the last minute. If ever he tells them to go and vote for Ron DeSantis, if he ever says it.
Right. That's exactly right.
And my friend DA, we were talking, he's like, well, he'll get a promised pardon. Sorry. A promised pardon.
Again, you and I, whatever we want on this show. Nobody's stopping us.
Yeah, even with a promised pardon, Trump's people, I don't think will vote for DeSantis. He's not likable. He can't hide what he's done. Abortion, Black history. Now he can't hide any parlaying slavery skills. Like he can't get away from this stuff.
I saw a funny tweet, and I'm still calling it tweet. Fuck that. I'm not calling it X's. But I saw a funny tweet where somebody said, man, if Ron DeSantis was just a slave, he would have been able to parlay his skills into being a better candidate.
Which awful.
Is pretty damn funny. But he, the other place where he's about to get smacked, he's a terrible debater. I mean, he was on the stage against, who was he running against here? Oh, it's slipping my mind. God.
That guy with the white hair?
Yeah, he was the Democratic.
Chris.
Yeah, Charlie Crist. So he was debating against him and got his. He looked lost, and he is going to look lost against Chris Christie. He's going to look lost. I don't know the rest of them. I don't know if they'll attack Ron DeSantis as much. Chris Christie will, but if Donald Trump is on that stage, he might as well wrap it up. He'll be Little Marco. He'll be Jeb Bush.
Yeah, he's going to find a name. He's going to call him Meatball or something crazy. So
Tiny D, I think, is another one that,
Oh my
God. There's all kinds of things that he will attack him with. And Ron DeSantis doesn't have it in him. He's a big tough guy when he's yelling at female reporters or he's yelling at kids at a high school with masks on. That's when he's a tough guy. And that's what I think most MAGA guys, when they're tough, is when they think they can be tough against people that, won't fight back as much. But he's going to be exposed at the debate next week. And if he does somehow become the candidate, the American electorate, the American people
Yeah.
overall, are going to see what
And
everybody else is
and
seeing. He's
AP
unlikable.
AP Black History, changing
Yeah.
Rosa Parks books. Don't
6
say
weeks for
yeah,
abortion bans.
it
Yeah.
don't say gay.
Yeah.
Like, he attacked Disney. Like, what is he gonna do as a president? Like, what? He's petty as fuck.
Yeah. And by the way, quite frankly, we think we talked about this before. This idea, it really pissed me off when I saw, I can't remember if it was New York Times or if it's the Atlantic. I think it might have been the Atlantic that wrote the article how Ron DeSantis won COVID. And I'm like, well, that's a pretty, first of all, it's a shitty headline. Nobody won COVID. And if you look back, Florida did not do a great job. I mean, economically, they did not go in the tank,
Right.
but a lot of people died in Florida.
That
And for
he's
some reason,
hiding
we
the
look over
numbers,
that.
right? And because he hid, didn't he
That
arrest some woman who
this
whistleblower?
Rebecca Jones that he harassed her. Well, I don't know if you can't say he did directly, but I mean,
Right.
we can kind of put 2 and 2
Right.
together, but I don't recall seeing any specific proof that he did, but there is a strong case that he hid, numbers here on COVID. And he is absolutely the guy who, all the stuff you just named, it is not beneath him, or it is not, that
Right.
sounds like something he would do.
Right. Of course he would. And I remember that. And I remember when the vaccines hit, Ron DeSantis was having a whole party with his friends, a vaccine party, and people needed vaccines, and he was giving them to his rich friends and himself.
Yes. Yeah. That's true too. Yep. Yeah. So I don't, again, like I said, going back to your question, I'm not afraid of Ron DeSantis. I'm not really afraid because most of these candidates are on the same page when it comes to abortion.
Right.
There are these,
Right.
that's why so many of them won't even go after Donald Trump, because they don't want to lose that MAGA vote. So
Right.
what's the point of even running, other than you think that Donald Trump may be going to jail?
Right. Right.
So
And people are just, I know we gotta go, but
no, we can stay as long as
people
you
are
want.
just like so stupid. It's like, why would you vote for someone who doesn't eat? Well, one, they don't care about anyone, but even in their faking like they care about Americans, only cares about one electorate.
Yeah.
Like, why would you vote for any Trump? Trump only cares. Well, he doesn't care, but he acts like he cares, but only for MAGA. That's it. He does blue states. I think we talked about this. Like, let a hurricane happen in a blue state, and Trump is president. You may not even get FEMA there. He's going to redo everything anyway. He is going to fire and DeSantis. If you're not a Republican, you're not going to be able to work for the government.
Yeah.
If they can fire you, they will fire you.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And it's fun. Actually, I did look up, because we did talk about that last week. Jared Kushner did. There was some meddling, or there was some talk about not giving blue states certain funding and stuff like that for COVID. Surely that was on the directive of Donald Trump, or he just assumed that that's what Donald would want. But yeah, it's this is by far the craziest time. I mean, we've had some crazy shit that's happened while we've been alive, but
no, this is Donald Trump is really a cancer. Like,
he is, and that's why I think that's part of, we get rid of this, the country could maybe somewhat repair itself. I don't know if it will get to the point, but